just debuted back earlier in May. Tonight we have it for you on a 2-pay easy pay plan. It's under $40 and there are 4 colors to choose from. You have it next to you in the tan.
That's right.
I have the black in front of me. We also have it for you in red. We also have it for you in white. The time to buy a fan is not 4th of July weekend when they're forecasting it's going to be 108 degrees with a heat wave. You won't be able to find one anywhere. Why we like bringing this to you on QVC sort of ahead of the heat waves is so that when that warm weather arrives, you are ready to cool off.
Jill, speaking of that heat wave, I think we're in it, right? I mean, today, the last couple of days here in the Northeast have really kind of surprised everybody, and you mentioned it. Instead of waiting to the last minute to those heat waves to come and us to run out to the big box store, check out this Holmes Blizzard fan that's really going to set itself apart. You mentioned the remote. I'm going to set this down here, but here's all the things that the fan can do. Number 1 on that list is this rotating grill. By simply turning this rotating grill on and off, I'm now getting 70% wider air distribution. Think about that, guys. I like to almost kind of compare it to a garden hose shooting out in one direction or maybe fanning it out. Now you get that gentle, delicate breeze. So instead of having the fan blowing right in your face and drying out your eyes, you get that home comfort that you've been looking for. Well, we've got a timer feature on there. And then one more thing that's brand new this year, instead of just the low, medium, and high, you have that level 1. That's a whisper quiet mode. So now things that you want in your fan is that it's going to push a lot of air. It's going to be very comfortable. You're going to have that wide air distribution, but it's going to be incredibly quiet in this 5.5-pound fan.
I think we have some animation that we want to show
sure.
well, Nick, that kind of shows like what's happening with this fan and why it's better than maybe the big box fans.
And Jill, this is what you mentioned earlier. This is what you're going to see out at the big box store in a couple months when it gets too hot. That big box fan pushes that air in one single direction. You have that tunnel of wind. Then you can move on to the oscillating fans. And the oscillating fans are great, but they kind of tease you, come back. The Holmes Blizzard fan is just a much better technology. There's that rotating grill, diffusing the air, giving you full room comfort, which is what we all want, and it eliminates those hot spots in the room.
So it's circulating the air.
Right.
Is it good for me to put this maybe near where my air conditioning vents are to help move that cool air?
Absolutely, Jill. That's a great thing.
Not just create the air, but move the cool air that's already there.
The end of the duct run, right? That one room that doesn't get as hot. You can see what's happening in the studio here.
Yep.
We're getting these bubbles going in all different directions. And the reason that is because we're getting that really, really wide air distribution with that rotating grill. 70% wider air distribution. You have the 5 fan blades pushing it out of the room. That's a traditional fan. By putting these out in front, that's where you're getting the true room comfort and circulation that you want.
Is there any assembly when I get this at home?
None
Nick?
at all, and you even get the batteries for the remote.
So take it out, plug it in, and start cooling off. We all have those spaces, even when you have central air conditioning. I think everybody has those hot spots in the house, right? Maybe it's, in our house, it's the master bedroom because we're right over the garage. So again, all that heat that's building up in the garage all day, heat rises, right? Goes right up to our bedroom. So having an extra fan there is always helpful. Some of you like to be nice and cool when you sleep at night, but you don't necessarily want to crank the air conditioner for the whole house when you're just trying to keep yourself in one room cool. Have a fan like the Holmes Blizzard. It's customer top rated. So here's what I would tell you. If this was a fan that wasn't really doing its job, it wouldn't be customer top rated. If this was a fan that people weren't happy with when they got it at home, it would not be customer top rated. If this was a fan that wasn't moving the air like we've been explaining, it would not be customer top rated. If it was loud, if it was obnoxious, if it was heavy, if it made rattling noises, it would not be customer top rated. But it is. So that's something that you should consider as you're looking at this for your home and you're thinking of how much more comfortable it will be. What about for those college students? Like, not all college students are going to school all cushy in brand new dorms with central air, okay? A lot of them are going to universities that still have older dorms, no central air, not allowed to put window units in, need to find a way to bring cool air in. Why not give the gift of a fan?
Jill, it's so funny that all the things that you said, loud, noisy, those are things that we put up with fans, right?
Yes.
That's what everybody loves about this. You mentioned with the air conditioning system, imagine the cool, the stagnant air that just sits around there. Now it's going to be pulling in from the back and pushing out from the front, which really, really is what you want to get the air moving. Again, everything that it comes with is on that remote control as well. All of those great features. I have a ceiling fan in my bedroom, but I don't want to use it because that means I have to get up in the middle of the night. So again, going through all of those features, we can turn that rotating grill on and off.
Great.
And then finally, this is that breeze function. So at this time of year, with all the pollen in the air, now you can actually simulate the fresh air breeze by scrolling through some of the speed settings without having to open up the windows in the home.
It's on a 2-pay easy pay plan. Take advantage of that. You know, Father's Day is coming up. It's a practical present for him. It's a great gift idea for somebody that you know. Maybe your folks live in an older home, again, don't have central air conditioning. They keep a box or a air conditioning unit up in their bedroom, and they rely on fans to keep the rest of the house cool. Your traditional box fan is not doing and cooling the way the Blizzard is. Why do you think it's called Blizzard, right? It's nice and cold. Here's what that box fan does.
That traditional box fan that's going to be loud and noisy like you mentioned, but put a tunnel of wind in one direction. You can also move on to that oscillating fan. But the big difference there is that it's just turning in one direction, and honestly, that's usually what makes the most amount of noise. The Blizzard fan is the big difference. So that rotating grill on the front there that you can see spinning around, that's the big difference maker. 70% wider air distribution, and even small convenient things like the fact that the cord even has storage on the back. So bring this from room to room if you're storing away for the winter season. All of those reasons are why everybody loves this fan and doesn't have all the pain points that you mentioned on the others.
No assembly, batteries included for the remote. Take it out of the box and start cooling off. And don't wait till it gets so hot that when you're shopping for fans, you can't find one anywhere. Get this while we have it. Red, white, this is the tan, and this is your black. It's V35412 from Holmes, under $40 with easy pay. So stay on the line if you're dialing in for that. Nick, nice to see you.
Jill.
Thanks
Great
for being
to see
here. Listen, also still to come tonight, we're going to be talking about our set of 4 indoor wall outlets with a wireless